Welcome to another video. My name's Joe, and this channel is all about how you can deepen your non-duality experience through listening to videos, discussing it with friends, coming to online live meetings, and just really committing to this path in life. I can assure you that this path, like no other, yields the most results for the least effort. It still requires effort. We do use the cone of saying there's nothing to do, nothing need be done. But when we are using this, we're talking to your resistant mind. Nothing need be done. You're already awake, perfect as you are. And all of that is perfectly true because non-duality is filled with paradox. However, practice does help. It really does. So I'm going to share with you now what I consider to be the most simple practice. And I would probably say it might be the most powerful practice. And you may never have heard of it. Stop describing. Stop describing. Stop describing. Stop describing. The primary way that you establish your sense of separate self and then the extracting problems from life is you describe everything. You have, I don't know, a craving, you describe the craving. You have an argument, you describe the argument. You're frustrated because you missed the bus, you describe the missing of the bus. Your mind is basically feeding you information that is illusory and speculative. We don't know the cause of things. We don't know the outcome of things. All we know is this moment. And in this moment, there's nothing to describe. Nothing to describe. But if I describe the next part of this moment, like the speculative future moment, I wonder what I'm going to talk about next. Maybe I could talk about this. Oh, and then I could describe the last moment. That was a weird thing to put in the middle of a video. Oh, I wonder why I did that. So describing is always moving into the past and future. You can describe a little bit of the moment, but the moment doesn't, like, this is very subtle, but the now doesn't even exist. As soon as you say the now, it's gone, right? So there isn't even, a moment is a concession. It's the most refined concession that we can have to our actual existence. But even the moment doesn't exist. So there really is nothing to describe. Although briefly we can say, in this moment, I'm sitting here, I feel relaxed, I'm breathing deeply. Now, if you notice, I'm changing the subject slightly, but I sometimes do that. When I'm saying those things, I'm sitting here, gone. I'm breathing deeply, gone. I'm relaxing in it now, gone. Right? Literally, it reminds me of a speedboat going through water, and it has a wake. The life that we perceive is the wake of the now, because the now we don't perceive. It's the wake of the now that we perceive. Within that, don't describe. So when things arise, someone's annoying you, don't describe. And what happens is you're left with these sensations that don't have descriptions. The sensation. For a sensation to become an emotion, it needs a description. It needs a story. I mentioned this in one of the live calls that I'm posting at the moment. Wise stories. Thoughts are words and images. This is how you perceive the world. Then you have sensations, right? So those are the three things that you perceive all of existence with. Words, images, and sensations. An emotion is when a story is attached to a sensation by words and images. That's it. When those three come together, bound by a story, you have an emotion. If you don't describe, the story goes away, the emotion goes away, and you're left with words, images, and sensations which are pleasurable. In the main, they're pleasurable. And I even pain, because sometimes the sensation of pain can hurt, which is true, but a large degree of pain is often emotional. I'm not saying that you're going to become some kind of magician that can burn your hand on a candle and it not hurt. These are meditative practices that some meditators claim to have adopted, but I don't need that skill. I don't need that skill in my life. I don't need to be able to burn my hand. I like pain. That sounds really wrong. Don't clip that. I like the process of pain because it's how my body knows how to protect itself. Because for sure, even if you can withstand the pain of a burning candle, your skin can't. So pain has a purpose, but a lot of the pain we mostly feel is psychological. There are certain souls that end up living with chronic pain, long-term pain, and that is a different journey. You still can use the freedom around non-duality to find relief from long-term chronic pain. Again, this is another deepest topic that I won't go into right now. But just for now, if you stop describing, you relieve some of that chronic pain. Look at me, I'm stuck in bed again, my back's always hurting. Describe, describe, describe. Just don't describe. I learnt this in a very, very funny place. I'm going to share it with you. I used to be a really bad binge eater. I was like 320 pounds. I was eating junk food, 3 times a day. I was really struggling in life. And I would go to McDonald's and I would eat the burger. Then I would feel bad. Then I would go off and beat myself up, which would make me feel worse. And I would go back and get another burger. And I was going through this cycle of urge, binge eat, self-criticism, urge, feel bad, urge, binge eat, self-criticism, feel bad, urge, binge eat, and it was a loop. And I couldn't stop the urge because I didn't understand how to do that. I couldn't stop the binge eating because I was very addicted. I couldn't stop the pain of life at that time, and I couldn't stop the self-criticism. And then I realized, what if I just stay silent when I'm binge eating? And I started doing the same binge eating, but I would not allow a discussion about it to continue. So I'd be sitting in a McDonald's, just refusing to describe anything and binge eating. And what happened is I didn't feel as bad afterwards. And as I didn't feel as bad afterwards, I was more able to work with the next urge, and so on and so forth. And slowly that whole thing unwound. It's amazing. And in your life as a non-dual practitioner, if you stop describing, just spend some time stopping describing, what happens is you start to clearly see more easily your nature of mind. So you have a black sky and a firework appears. Boom. Jenny's annoying me. Okay? Boom. And now you would normally go, why does she have to be in the coffee room when I'm in here? Why is she like this? Oh God, her voice, whatever it is. Sorry, Jenny, you're probably a lovely person, but anyway, right? You're describing this and you fill your mind with noise, which you then attach to. Now, filling your mind with noise, if you're not attached to it, is fine. It's always the attachment that's the issue, never the display. But in order to loosen that attachment and find what it feels like to notice the nature of mind, clear, spacious, present, stable, benevolent, compassionate, and well-being inducing, if you don't describe the first firework, Paul walks into the room, there's Paul again. Sorry, Paul, there's Paul again. Bang, you don't describe it, it just resolves. And there's the black sky. And you're at peace, and it's appeared, and it's gone again. It's appeared, and it's gone again, right? Because your mind, it's almost like a waiter that offers you up dishes. Would you like would you like this? Would you like this? Would you like to be annoyed by this? What about your train ticket? Would you like to be annoyed by that? What about your unsatisfactory meal? It's trying to help you. It's trying to find out what it can do to support you in your life. But it's untrained. Or actually, it's been trained, but it's probably been trained ineffectively by other people who aren't aware of the nature of mind. So they teach it to respond to problems, where you can retrain it. Paul, no thank you. Bad train ride, no thank you. Annoying Jenny, no thank you. I feel like this about myself, no thank you. And you just let the waiter of the mind know that you're not interested. And you just go around non-describing. And it's so powerful. It's so powerful. So that's your homework. Actually, when I work with people directly, I always give this as a homework. Stop describing, stop describing, stop describing. And then we see what happens when they report back. So try it for a bit, come back to this video, post in the comments how it was for you. Let's have a discussion, and I'll speak to you soon.